Welcome back, students. Today we are starting new chapter. Hope you people are doing well and you are uh, doing practice for the previous lectures. Today our lecture is for mechanics, and in mechanics we will study about rest and motion during this class. But before we start rest and motion, let's explain what the mechanics is. It's a branch of physics in which we study about the motion of the bodies uh, where we will study the motion of the bodies. That will be the branch uh, of physics which is called mechanics. Now let's study about the mechanics, that is study of motion of objects. There are two portions for mechanics. One is kinematics, other one is dynamics. Sorry. Kinematics is the branch where we study motion of the objects without reference of the force. We are not interested. We don't consider the motion of the object, and we don't consider the force during their motion. What type of the force is acting, we are not concerned. But in case of dynamics, we study the motion of the bodies with the action of the force. What the force has effects during the motion of objects, that we will study in dynamics. But in kinematics, we will not consider the force during the motion of the bodies. Now, there are two terms which are frequently used in physics, that is to describe rest and motion of the object. When we will say that the body is at rest, and when we will say or explain the body is in motion. First, a body is said to be at rest if it does not change. It does change its motion with respect to its surrounding. Like you see, the trees are at rest with respect to surrounding. A car is moving on the road. Car is in motion, but trees are at rest. When a car is moving along the on the road, then the buildings, the stones laying along the road, uh, these are at rest because they are not changing. The car is changing its position with respect to buildings, roads, stones, and all types of the blocks which are laying along the road. Road is at rest, but the car is moving because it's not changing its position. The thing or the object which is not changing its position with respect to the other, with reference to the other object, that is said to be in the state of rest. So I have given you some examples. The next one is motion. A body is said to be in motion if it changes its position with respect to its surrounding. If a body is changing its position with respect to surrounding, look, here it's a leopard and a lion. They are running, and at the same time there are some trees, there are some stones, there are some other objects which are not changing their place. They are at rest, but leopard and lion, these are changing their position with respect to that object, stone, building, or anything else, or the road, or the stones. So they are at rest. Lion and tiger, leopard are moving. They are changing their position. They are said to be in the state of motion. Similar is the case with the cyclist. They are uh, moving. They are moving with the cycle. They are changing their place or the position, but these buildings, offices, and stores are not changing their position. These are at rest, but these cyclists are moving and they are in motion. So similar is the case for this cycle. Cycle is not moving, it's changing its place. But if a car is running on the road, car is changing its place, but the cycle is not changing its place. So that's why it is said to be at the state of rest now. But the car is changing its place or the position, this car, so it is said to be in this state of motion. So rest and motion are relative. How these are relative? The state of rest or motion of a body is relative. For example, a passenger sitting in moving bus is at rest because he is not changing his position with respect to the other passenger sitting in the car. But if you see, if anyone asks you from the outside standing along the road, he will say that the you sitting in the bus are motion with respect to me. But actually, when you see the two passengers sitting inside a bus, these two passengers are not changing their position with respect to each other. They are at rest. But if you will compare this passenger outside the bus, standing along the road, he is basically, he will say that you are moving, you are in motion, you are at rest. So these are there are number of examples. By quoting these examples, you can explain or you can understand how the rest and motions are relative to each other. But to an observer outside the bus, again, I'm repeating the state of rest or motion of a body is relative. For example, a passenger sitting in a moving bus is at rest because he is not changing his position with respect to the other passenger sitting in the same bus. But to an observer outside the bus, the passenger and objects are in motion as they are changing their position. So these are basically relative to each other. A passenger is standing outside and a train is moving. With respect to this passenger, the train is in motion. The passengers sitting in this train are in motion. But if you compare 10 passengers sitting in the train, they will say to each other that each one of them is not changing, they are at rest. But when you will compare with the outside, the situation will be the different. So this is the concept of rest and motion. If again, if a body is not changing its position with respect to surrounding, that body is said to be in the state of rest. But if a body is changing its position with respect to uh, surrounding, it is said to be in the state of motion. If not changing, rest. If it's changing its position, then it's in motion. So let's start from the revise the main points. Main points are we study the motion of the object in mechanics. It has two branches, that is kinematics and the other one is dynamics. Kinematics is the branch of physics in which we study about the motion of the object without reference of the force, without considering the force. But in case of dynamics, we study about the motion of the bodies, but at the same time, we consider the force as well. So the next one was the definition of the concept of rest and motion. How will you explain these two? Then we reached up to the relative. Uh, uh, we have tried to prove that the rest and motions are relative to each other. So with this, our class ends. Hope you people have understood. Thank you. Thank you very much for your patience.